since we didn't talk, let's talk about the IG one first, because I actually think the IG one is the sleeper, Monty. Because the thing about that roster is there are 0 bad players there. Someone like Gala and Mako have even been very good recently. TheShy's a tiny bit of a question mark, but even then you've seen him have like I won't say he hasn't really ever gotten back on top, but like that Worlds run was pretty good last year. He had the times when he was good.
He's won 1 Worlds and been in 2 finals, even though he hasn't been awesome, right? Sure, he's a high variance player, but when he's on form, he's fucking incredible. He's probably peaked higher than any other top laner at Worlds in the history of Worlds. Sure. So he's got that going for him. He's been on a break, clearly, for this year, but I think he's exciting, right? And what's so fascinating about this roster is they're kind of jamming 2 different Worlds winning rosters together. So they're taking TheShy and Rookie, who are the solo laners from the IG winning roster, and they're taking JJ and Mako, the support and jungle of the EDG Worlds winning roster, and now they're on the same team with Gala, who has always been a monster, going back to his time on RNG. So this roster obviously has a lot of potential. The solo lanes are used to working together, JJ and Mako, and we talk about how strong support jungle synergy and how important it is. They're coming back. JJ was really good in the Worlds that he won. Mako might actually be at this point the greatest support in the history of the game. So him coming back or him being together on this roster is huge.
To all the people who go crazy if you say anyone other than Faker is the GOAT, but then for GOAT support, suddenly resume is not what decides it. I love how that works, Monty. Suddenly for support, it's just whoever played great. But bizarrely, that doesn't work for mid lane. We know that one works. I agree with you, mate. This roster's bagging. It's actually a really interesting squad.
Yeah, the potential of this roster is really cool. And the history of this roster is going to be really interesting. The history of the roster is fascinating. Just stacked up 4 world champions on this roster.
Are world champions and Gala's a fucking MSI champion. Like, it's a pretty fucking good roster, yeah.
It's basically a super team, right? And clearly, IG, we've heard they changed ownership. They are splashing out with this roster. It is, at the very least, going to be must-watch League of Legends with IG. This roster is going to be super fun to keep track of, not only because TheShy is infamously entertaining, but I mean, you hit the right meta with this roster and you got to think you're going to be cooking big time, right? It just seems very stable as well. Rookie is a very versatile player, very strong on controlled mages. Like the variance here is really going to be caused by TheShy. And it feels like even if he does dumb shit, the rest of his team is going to be very consistent and very able to kind of mitigate that. And when he does really amazing stuff, they should just absolutely crush people. So I really like the roster construction because it feels like you've got the wild card in the top side, but other than that, you're able to lower variance with the rest of the team. Just seems really solid.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.